the super expedited time-saving Marvel.
Chapter. I guess. ***.0*.0*.0*. I'm in a rush. The ultimate shortcut.
Chapter number to be allocated by the V.O.E.B alphanumerical nomenclature, governmental organization, at the utmost urgency. However, due to an uptick in office cake days, passionate discussions at the water cooler regarding whose poems, better, and more helpful kicks and smacks required for the copy machines to function.
This, of course, is because, since the IT department's poems do not seem to be poeming even by the most basic V.O.E.B classifications of such literary endeavors, it has led to them focusing entirely on the ongoing task of fixing the various water coolers located throughout the premises, in hopes of gleaning some techniques to improve their poems, or perhaps, as a good opportunity to hide their tears amongst the leaks and splashes.
The matter has, as of yet, not been cleared to begin the preliminary thought process required to be inspired to start the acquisition forms for the requested numerical chapter indicator at this time.
It is believed that the extensive photocopies required during the process will directly and exponentially increase the amount of wrist and metatarsal musculoskeletal repetitive motion injuries. The managers are considering safety controls of reduced daily hours to mitigate this, and by happenstance, save them a mountain of money due to the dramatic decrease in accrued eligible hours needed for medical coverage and therefore to corporate contributory contributions.
Once all possible safety procedures are in place, we will quickly start thinking about filling out a request to reopen this most pressing matter. The managers of the V.O.E.B appreciate your utmost understanding and patience in this matter, and are glad you could lend an ear, as it were.
The ultimate shortcut? For those hyperspace travelers and temporal adventurers who find themselves in a rush. Perhaps you have a planet due for demolition and an existential crisis looming. The Guide to ShadyMemories presents an unparalleled, time-saving marvel designed to expedite your journey through the initial chapters of the hypothesis. Forget the conventional narrative path, we offer a deeply ironic, super expedited route straight to the heart of the matter. Simply follow these instructions precisely.
Step 1. Locate the V.O.E.B Office of Expedited Bureaucracy, V.O.E.B.
The V.O.E.B is helpfully located behind the third worst hyperspace bypass in the western spiral arm. You'll recognize it by the complete lack of signage and the pervasive scent of damp socks and despair.
Step 2. Enter the queue.
Take your place at the end of the line.
The queue is managed by a particularly severe-looking V.O.E.B called R.U.S.H.E.R of the many tentacles. He will inform you that the expected wait time is
well, let me think. That will be approximately 7.63 cycles of the Betelgeuse star system, give or take a millennia or two. Of course.
Phalaena.HABE will immediately suggest they could skip the queue by engaging R.U.S.H.E.R in a deeply creative, non-linear discussion about the philosophical implications of queues themselves. TechZilious.Rex will logically calculate that attempting this maneuver would increase the wait time by exactly 4.2 cycles due to V.O.E.B Regulation B27, subsection gamma.
Step 3. Collect the necessary forms.
Fill this out when you have a spare moment. No rush. I'm going for my scheduled coffee break.
TechZilious.Rex will meticulously fill out both forms in precise, triple-spaced, Arial font, noting the exact efficiency metrics of their preferred route. Phalaena.HABE will use a crayon found stuck to a counter to draw a highly interpretive, abstract diagram of a timeline experiencing spontaneous joy on the back of form BRG7.
Step 4. The R.U.S.H. Randomly Utilitarian Sequential Harmonizer, Q.
Hand the forms back to R.U.S.H.E.R.
He points a slimy tentacle toward a large, humming, grey box labeled R.U.S.H. and says,
You will need to deposit forms over there, but to get there, get in that queue.
As you step into the R.U.S.H. queue, a gentle, synthesized humming sound envelopes Phalaena.HABE and TechZilious.Rex. the machine inducing a profound feeling of overwhelming zen. A deep sense of the oneness with everything settles over them, making the need for expedition seem utterly trivial and pointless. For Phalaena.HABE, these kinds of things happen often, and is likely take advantage of the given time to go through the video comment section. Hoping in particular that the very attractive viewer watching right now might add to them. But TechZilious.Rex was caught between the objective to efficiently complete tasks in the order of arrival, and a great appreciation of the kindred-spirited bureaucrats following of the precisely by the book prescribed parameters of the process to a T, or in this case, a Q. The only logical outcome of being one with everything was the overwhelming urge to return to step 1 and experience the Q again, which, for TechZilious.Rex, was the purest, most efficient use of the present situation's time paradox.
Step 5. The ironic expedited path, eviction.
Phalaena.HABE, experiencing intense creative harmony, argues that this circular logic is the ultimate art installation. TechZilious.Rex, experiencing efficiency harmony, argues that looping back to step 1 is the most efficient use of the time paradox. Their immediate, loud, and harmonious agreement over the nature of their situation causes a disturbance in the otherwise lifeless office. 2 large Vogon security guards arrive.
You two will have to accompany us out this way.
They seize Phalaena.HABE and TechZilious.Rex, and escort them directly to a nearby deportation transporter marked immediate departure. They didn't save time, they simply bypassed the office entirely through mutual disturbance. After a lengthy interrogation from the imposing-looking guards, a detailed alibi starting when you were 5 3/4 years old, preceded by an elaborate dissertation of your non-familiarity with the 2 ruffians and a substantially detailed, but at the same time strangely ambiguous waiver filled out in triplicate against any claims of emotional distress from the preceding outburst. You wait patiently in line and reach the R.U.S.H. box slot. With one last whimsical look at Phalaena.HABE's crayon diagram, still unsure of which side is up, you let out a big sigh and file both forms in the chute. The chute leads directly back to the entrance where you started, but an ill-timed gust of wind has blown them to the minigame. Meanwhile, somewhere in a dark corner of a forgotten server, a little grey bit of code abruptly sits up and exclaims, "What a rush!" Then curls back up below the grand fortune cookie jar full of user-favorited kitten video links and ShadyMemories playlists and drifts back to sleep. One of the clerks eventually hands you your pink copy, once they have finally finished the last, excruciatingly trepidatious, few bites of their office cake party overindulgence, and meticulously dab the icing effused corner of their pragmatic poem pronouncer, that is of course, of course, of course. What will you do next?
Congratulations! You have successfully completed the super expedited time-saving Marvel. As a thank you for making it all this way, scroll down to the bottom of the video description and hit the link to download a certificate of completion and a V.O.E.B rusher form to expedite things at home. Share it with #I sat for 9 minutes and all I got was this crappy certificate and or #ShadyMemories.
You are now exactly where you began, or perhaps a bit behind in fact, but you have the added existential dread of having already dealt with the Vogon bureaucracy. Before proceeding, ensure you have completed all the steps or rethought the need for expeditation, thereby negating the need for these previous prescribed steps.
What will you do next? Will you proceed to Chapter -1.3.42 Preface? The choice is yours, or Chapter 1.3.44.2 and play a small, digital minigame, and possibly find your forms. But I wouldn't hold my breath. Sigh.
AA can make myth cakes, so don't check responses, says S.